where the West begins in Fort Worth, Texas, to around the globe. You are listening to Talk of the Night. And now, your host, Paranormal Phil. Okay, give me a second, Mario. Just 1 second. We just went live. I can hear you good now. All right, sorry. Normally, I have my guest call in 10 minutes early, so just technical difficulty, so I didn't get to start out right like I wanted to, but that's all right. No worries. It happens. So, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world, around the globe, or even in your own backyard. I am Paranormal Phil, and tonight we're going to be joined by my guest, Mario, later in the show. But first, I want to mention a story up on the Talk of the Night show website, talkofthenight.com. Then we'll read his bio and cue him in. Since he's calling in late, we'll cue him in when we're ready. We'll do this story and the bio real quick, and then we'll get him on. All right, so this is up on the story of the day on talkofthenight.com. Michigan woman pleads guilty to hiring hitman to kill ex-husband. A Michigan woman pleaded guilty to solicitation of murder after she was accused of trying to hire a hitman to kill her husband. A Michigan woman who was accused of trying to hire a hitman pleads guilty of solicitation of murder. Wendy Wayne, 52 years old, from Michigan, went into rentahitman.com last year to find someone to kill her husband, Michigan police said. However, what she didn't know was that website was completely bogus. The website looked real and claimed to offer free consultations, had customer reviews, and said they help clients from all walks of life. When she met up with a person from the website, she was met by an undercover detective, and once she said what she wanted her husband, when she said she wanted her husband killed, she was arrested. The charges are solicitation to commit murder and illegal use of a computer to facilitate a crime. Of course, you can click on the link below the story, and it'll take you to the full story. So let's speed up things here. Let's read a little bit about Mario real quick, and then we'll bring him on. Mario is a talented author, actor, and songwriter. He has written 40 songs, 3 movie scripts, and 2 books. His book, Dead to Me Hollywood, an inspirational, true organized crime story, is on sale on Amazon, and his fiction book titled Megam Fish Me will be on sale soon. He got poisoned by a professional hitman in 2016. He spent 17 days in a coma. He was attacked by demons for 5 months. Mario is the father of actor Tony Revolori, best known for his role as Flash Thompson in Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Away from Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home. So please welcome to the guest, Mario Quinones-Revolori, and I hope I pronounced that right.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Sometimes I have trouble with names, but so how are you doing tonight? I was getting a little worried that you weren't going to make it.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great, but a little my voice sometimes takes away because of the accident, because of the poison, and
yeah,
it's one of those days that I feel a little kind of like my voice is now responding properly to me, but I'm not. Other than that, I feel okay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because when you called before the show, I couldn't hear you and everything. It sounded like you were breaking up real bad, and I was like, oh, man, I hope he can hear me.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
All right. So tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Like you said in the introduction, I'm a songwriter, author, and actor, and I love writing like writing is everything for me, and I love it a lot. That I even write in my dreams, and I have a bachelor's degree in in creative writing from California State University, Fullerton in Southern California.
Yeah. I know California all too well. I was born in Riverside, California.
Oh my goodness, Cal State is Cal State Riverside, right?
Yep. But now I'm out of Texas now.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I see.
So, how did you get started writing?
You know, that's funny because when I was about 12 years old in elementary school, the teacher at that time asked us to write something, for the class. I remember I wrote something that was so afraid that I left the school without permission because I was afraid that she was going to read my thing, and I was embarrassed because I didn't know that I had the talent and then for writing, and then she picked my writing, my piece of writing as the first one. Mm-hmm. And for that moment, when I came back that next day, she was talking about me, and that's the way it started. And then it seems that writing. No, spend most of the time writing.
Okay. I mean, I've tried my hand at writing and everything like that. I mean, I started work on my own book, but I never got around to ever doing any more on it. And then I'm still also working on my own screenplay, and I know you're a screenwriter. And everything like that. Now, have any of your screenwriting works come to fruition and been part of the big screen or anything, or just more of the small screen?
No, actually, I shot none of them, but I'm just still shopping around. But I already produced, directed, and created a TV show called Three Bachelors, which my sons are in that. And that one I was so good. At that time I produced it. Like I would say 8 years ago. And that one was close to make it with a TV channel. I forgot which one it was. I think it was a cable one, but other than that, I haven't had a chance to
I got a friend out in Beverly Hills that has been on many paranormal TV shows and stuff like that. He produced his own movie, but he's even having trouble getting that out to the big screen.
Yeah, that's true. That's so difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like I produced that show with about $40,000, and they couldn't believe it. People in Hollywood couldn't believe it that I did an amazing job with only $40,000. Better than shows that I spent $3 million budget.
Yeah,
that was quite amazing. But only was because my sons were already actors. They were known actors, and I used them for the show.
Yeah, that always helps to have some kind of connection and stuff like that in Hollywood. Because you don't get nowhere without some kind of connection. But yeah, I'm hoping one of these days I'll be able to finish my screenplay and have a big horror movie production and everything like that. But I'm not holding my breath to it. But I mean, I'll get it out there. But let's get into some other things here. Now, you mentioned that you got, well, of course, your bio mentions you have a son that starred in three Spider-Man movies. And
Yeah.
what's it like to have somebody that is kind of well known in big movies like that, to have a family member in a movie like that?
For me, it's something special. Thing that I couldn't describe because the beautiful thing for me is because he's talented, but his talent and all his achievements is because of me. And that's what it makes me more proud of him and of me, because he would have never made it without my help.
Yeah.
I was the one who coached them, directing him. I was his publicist. I scouted him, and I did everything. I invested a lot of money, as you know, if you're in this business. Some people say or think that it's just a chance. It's just that your luck. Yeah, all of that plays a role, but the main thing to become an actor, to become an athlete or whatever it is investment. And I invested a lot of time and money.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere without doing those. Time and money, especially in Hollywood.
Exactly. Yeah. So it means a lot to me. And he's a talented and means a lot because he has broken some records. Mount them, and he won some awards as one of the best young actors career, and he not like now he's a star in in a TV show done by Disney Plus called Willow, based on a fiction movie. Probably you saw it in the 80s or 90s. And
yeah,
so
I remember that movie all too well.
So he got the part where he's one of the stars in that TV show, and so that's a huge for him.
All right, so let's see, where was I? I lost track of where I was. Now, I've heard that you have 3 sons. Are they all in acting, or?
Two of them are, except the little one. The little one is not acting. He's 11. But my daughter is in music. My daughter is 17, and then she's. In fact, I'm working right now because we're gonna cut 3 original songs written by me, really nice songs. And I'm hoping, and I have a lot of expectations that they have the potential. And because I have the contract, we're going to be recording in about a month or so. And so she's a singer, songwriter like me, and two of my sons are actors. But she's my daughter from a different marriage. She's not full sister to Tony and Mario.
Okay, well, that's good. All right, so let's get into the topic of the book, because that's what we're all here for, and everything like that. So why the title of the book, Dead to Me Hollywood?
Oh, that's a good one. Really good. It happened that the plot to kill me happened in Hollywood. I guess someone, and everything goes... and it goes like documents and evidence. It goes to my brother, and being my own brother, he posed to my ex-wife too, that they hire a hitman, and this hitman, I was working in Hollywood because my daughter was gonna get a contract, a singing contract. One of the main record. How do you call this? Record label. Maybe you have heard of that one. It's called the Hollywood Records.
Yeah.
And she was going to get into that one. They had already the tours and everything. And for some reason, it failed. And then then I had a producer, kind of a friend of mine, and this guy was helping me a big deal. And he was something special, and my daughter had an appointment in addition for American Got Talent, because this guy knew how do you call this, Simon Cowell,
Yeah.
American Idol, and he called me in person on my daughter to ask him to get a spot in the show. So she did it, and then this guy, the hitman, broke into that producer's computer and into my computer, and started to get my information. When I get the information, when I got the information, sent the information to the producer, he accepted it, and he responded in the name of the producer, and then that went on for 5 months, until he poured venom in my cup of tea, and then so that's why I named it Dead to Me Hollywood.
Okay.
Because it happened in Hollywood, and it happened in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, and I know all about the entertainment industry out there myself a little bit, because I think it was the early to mid 90s, actually it was 94. I was in one of the episodes of Power Rangers, which never got aired. I was an extra in the background. I've tried out for The Voice 3 times out there and never got anything done with it. Of course, I don't have the voice for it no more, but I was really good at it. But, of course, out there, it's all about, I think it's more about looks than it is about talent, because they'll put on some people that are not what they consider really good looking, but a lot of them are really good, but they're also good looking too, I noticed. And I had a friend that was a lot better than me. He had his own band and everything like that. We both went to The Voice together to try out, and even he didn't make it. And to me, it seems like the producers that put on these shows like American Idol or The Voice really don't know music. It should be somebody that knows the music industry, knows vocals, everything like that. But to each their own on that. But I do know the industry all too well out there as far as acting and music.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So, what you talked about, kind of briefed us on the whole story, but I want to get it more in depth to it. So, everything's based on a true story. So, when did all this start for you? When did all the events start happening for you?
July, by the end of July, the beginning of August 2016. He started. He gaslighted me for about 5 months. And December 18, 2016, he poured the poison in a cup of tea in my own house. He had his own key, my key. Somehow he had a key to my apartment, and I boiled the tea. I boiled the tea, and I went to the laundry to put the laundry for 10 minutes, and when I came back, the pot of tea was filled with scales and fishy stuff. I saw it when I opened the lid, and I don't know what happened to me. That I lost the train of thought, and it didn't come to me that he had already told me he was gonna kill me. Okay, he told me in what hospital I was gonna die when he was gaslighting me, and I was thinking that's a joke. That's not possible. But remember, because he was impersonating the producer, All it was happening in the name of the producer, the American producer. So that's what I say. I say to myself, why is this guy threatening me? All of a sudden, he's my friend. He's been my friend. He's been helping my daughter.
Yeah.
He's everything to me. And he was so nice. And when he was doing that, it threatened me. And he said one time, he told me that I was going to die because God told him to kill me because he had the ability to talk to God. And then he said, and God told me, he told me in a different day, he said, this time, God told me that the only way you're not going to die at that hospital is if you go and fall down on your knees and ask forgiveness to your brother.
Wow. And so, go ahead.
Yeah, and then that's how I found out that my relatives were connected with him. And then on the 18th, he poured that poison. I removed it with my hand. I thought it was just a joke. I removed the thing, and then I poured a cup of tea. I drank it, and I don't know what happened to me at that moment. That never has happened in the past. That I drank the cup, and I had this urgency, and I poured a second one, and I drank it again, and I poured the third one. And when I was about finishing the third one, I collapsed on a chair. I was in front of the computer writing at that time, and my daughter was with me. Mm-hmm. My daughter, I just remember that I told my daughter, "Hey, sweetie, I'm gonna die. Finally, they're gonna kill me." Mm-hmm. Just tell mommy that I love her because she wasn't over there. My wife was doing the laundry. Mm-hmm. And we had just left her behind, and then my daughter told me when she saw it, because I told her, "Look, honey, what happened to my teeth?" And I said, "It's weird that something fell in the teeth." I said, but I didn't even realize that it was covered with something. And my daughter said, "Don't drink it, Daddy. Yeah, that's awful." And I didn't pay attention to her.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't think about that. But now, you mentioned 2016 is when all this started. But when I heard one of the interviews you did on another show that's on your Facebook page, that in 2011, I think it was, your ex-wife left you. Did you think at the time that anything like this would ever happen, and what she would try to do to you?
Yes, indeed, yes. Because two events happened at that time. The connect or the link, what she told me. She called me when I got married again. She left me. So a year later, I got married, and so that what happened. And my mother, my own mom, went in cahoots with my ex-wife because she manipulated her and told her that not to marry again. Mm. And that's when the very beginning. That's what happened when the thing started. And then she went to my house and she threatened me, my own house where I was with my new wife, and she broke her into my room.
Wow. I mean,
I never thought that she was gonna go that far.
Yeah, I can see exes having kind of grudges against their exes, but to take it that far, to want to commit murder and stuff like that, I don't see why people do that. I mean, if that is your motive, then I don't think you need to be in a relationship if you're gonna think that way. And I feel for you. I mean, I don't know why somebody would go that far, but like I said, to each their own. They're going to do what they're going to do. But now, like I said, with her, I can kind of understand kind of grudges and stuff like that. But for your own mom, that's weird.
Yeah, that's what. And my own brother. my own brother and my mother. That's what I don't understand.
Wow. And wow, just the brother and your mother at the same time with your ex-wife going in on something like this is just horrible. So in 2016, was that when, do you know if that was when they got together all together and to plot your own death, or do you know if it might have been before then?
I think, to make the things clear in a sense that I have to speak honestly, I don't think my mama was into that. I think she was a victim because she supported him in the sense that because she's so fanatic religious person, my mom, I think that's what the thing. They told her that I didn't have to marry again because I had been married through the Catholic Church to my ex-wife. Mm-hmm. And that's what, but I don't think my own mother participated in the plot herself, like directing saying, okay, let's do this. Yeah, I think she was just a victim herself.
Okay.
But my brother, yes, he did clearly. There's no doubt in my mind, based on the evidence and the documents that I gathered at that time, because he was passing information to the hitman, because the hitman wanted me to die so fast, and for some reason God saved me because I went in the 10th day. And I didn't die. And when they found the poison, they found out that the poison had enough power, enough poison, enough venom to kill 11 people. The dose was extremely high, or even to kill an elephant instantly. And then I survived. Mm-hmm. They couldn't believe it. So that's when the guy, through my brother, I found out that through my brother. Because remember, I went in a coma for 17 days in the hospital. And then when I didn't die, and I think my thing, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to point fingers saying that this really happened, But based on the evidence, that my brother, when I went into the hospital, he came to the hospital and stopped working at his job and stayed all the time taking care of me. But because he was passing information, I found out. And then on the 10th day that I didn't die in the hospital, the hitman came to the hospital to finish me up, and he didn't realize that the FBI was behind him. Why the FBI? I was asking myself. I don't know. But then I found out why the FBI. Because they hired him. And he was a citizen of India. He came all the way from India to kill me. That's when the FBI got involved. And I found out when they caught him, put him in jail, and they gave him a life sentence in prison.
Yeah, and I kind of get why somebody would hire a hitman outside the U.S. because they do the job, they can get paid and leave the country before anything really gets noticed. And if they get paid really well, they can get to one of these countries that doesn't have an extradition thing with the U.S. So, I kind of understand that, but why people do this, I don't know. But I want to let you know, because we didn't get a chance to talk before we went on the air. I have 3 commercial breaks. I have them at the half and the top of the hour. And each commercial break is 3.5 minutes long. So I won't be able to talk to you during the commercial breaks. But we're about ready to take our first commercial break here. But we'll get more back into this and your story and everything like that after this short commercial break. We'll be right back after this commercial break with my guest, Mario Revolori. We'll be right back.
Stars lighted up as they shine on down. She's driving off in this world alone. No, she ain't never going home. She lights a cigarette, puts one end on the steering wheel, and the radio plays her favorite songs. And if the lyrics get messed up, she won't give up and sing along. She sings along. The girl is always on the run, faster than a bullet from a gun. The girl is always on the run, faster than a bullet from a gun.
Do you have a talk radio, Facebook Live, or YouTube show and would like guests for your show but don't know where to go to get them? Well, go to radioguestlist.com and sign up today. They have all different experts in different fields, and you can find the ones that are just right for your show. That's radioguestlist.com. Sign up today. It's free.
To advertise on Talk in the Night, send an email to talkinthe.night@outlook.com. Talk in the Night has plans to fit your budget. Get your product or business heard around the world by the Talk in the Night listening audience. Plans include 30-second spots and banner ads on the show's website and mentioned on the social media sites. So get your product or business heard around the world today. Shop the Talk in the Night merch store today and pick up one of the many products with 9 different designs to choose from. The store has men's and women's apparel, drinkware, houseware, and accessories. Pick up a t-shirt, coffee mug, or anything else on there and support the show today. Go to talkinthe.night.com to find a link to the merch store.
Waste of our time out where the stars forget to shine. Cityscapes askew, stuck inside at noon, out where the stars forget to shine. How far you'd fall.
And now, back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil. Okay, and we are back with my guest, Mario Revolori, as we talk about his book, Death to Me, Hollywood. Now, before the break, we were talking about what went on and everything like that. Now, was there any inclination that your brother and ex-wife were planning to do it themselves, or did they have it in their mind to hire that hitman?
That's a good question, and I never thought about that, and no one has asked me that question.
It's been a while since I've been in radio, so I learned to ask the tough questions and think outside the box.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I would say probably they didn't have the guts to do it themselves.
They just like want to get rid of you, but like I don't want to get my hands muddy.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know, because see, I can only guess. To hire a hitman from India to come and harm some human being is not cheap.
Yeah.
He came all the way like 4 times. He flew India, Germany, New York. That was his route. His plane tickets showed that way. I don't think it was cheap. I don't
No.
think it was $25,000. I don't think it was even $50,000. Who paid for that? Because my ex-wife doesn't have that kind of money. My brother doesn't have any money, barely a dishwasher.
Wow.
Who paid? Who paid? Who paid? Who was the person that really came up with the money? Because I don't think that guy came to do it for free.
Now, was there any reason? But I know you. I think it was in that interview that you talked about your ex-wife and your mother were jealous that you wanted to get remarried. But what do you know? I mean, if you don't know, I mean that's fine too. But do you know of any reason that they might have wanted to kill you?
Someone else, or my ex-wife and my brother.
All right. So now, like I said, I got tons of questions here. And you talked about the guy that was pretended to be your producer friend. And he was I guess the hitman, correct?
Correct. That's correct.
So you
And I found out who he really was when the FBI caught him, and they sent me the report. I was on the 11th day in a coma at a hospital, and I was given from my present wife. I was given the information in September in 2017 because it took me to fully wake up and start moving my body. It took until September of 2017. That's when I found out it's real information.
okay.
That when all that I think who he was and where he was from.
All right, so now before they even did this with the dark frog poisoning and everything like that, this hitman gaslighted you for how long? And for those that don't know the term what gaslighting means, I'm sure a lot of people do, but if they don't, it means to manipulate someone, be it psychological means to question their own sanity. I can't talk for some reason tonight. Anyways, how long did that gaslighting go on before he tried to kill you?
For about 5 months.
5
The
months.
end of June we started, and we did it December 18th. It's about I would say about 5 months.
Okay, so he was basically sending out kind of death threats to you and everything like that.
Yes, he was doing that, and he wanted me. You know, I was so lucky and I was so blessed. And he was trying to get me hooked on pornography. One time he sent his male genitalia to my computer and told me, and he erected penis and told me, "Hey Mario, I want you to upload yours too. Take a good picture of yours, and I want to compare with mine."
Wow.
And do you think that's huge or is it average? He kept doing those kind of things to fry my brain.
Yeah, it just pretty much made you want to question your own sanity. Now, during any of that time, did you contact police or anybody else about it, or did you think, oh...
No, I never did it. And the reason why I asked myself, and the reason I didn't do it, because I thought he was still my friend, the producer. Remember, I still thought that it was him playing tricks on me.
Okay. So you thought, okay, he's my friend. He might be joking around or something like that.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, so you mentioned that they had you go do the laundry and everything like that. Now, and I saw mention about cameras in the house. Did they have that set up well before that whole tea incident where they put the poison in, or was it kind of planned out that way with hidden cameras and everything?
It was planned because he had a truck in my van. He has a tracking device for 5 months, and he was following me on my vehicle, my phones, my television set, my computer, and everywhere. He had me. He knew and he saw me wherever I was. I was at times at the store. One time I was shopping with my daughter because she wanted to buy a bass guitar. And I took her to Sam Ash store. That you being from California, you know that one on Sunset in I believe it's La Brea, somewhere over there, downtown LA. I mean Hollywood. Probably you're familiar with that one. There is a guitar center. And on the other, in front of the guitar center, there's a Sam Ash. I was shopping over there, and he came to me because he was tracking me on the van. And when I left, he told me, "Oh, Mario, why didn't you buy that bass that you thought was playing? In fact, you were checking out 3 basses. None of them you like it. I saw you over there by coincidence."
Wow.
And then many of them. He followed me wherever I was talking to friends. And he called me on the phone and he said, "Mario, I see you're talking with a guy, a fat guy, a skinny guy, a tall guy in a green hat." And then he said, when I looked around, scary and dying of panic attack, he said, "Mario, don't worry, it's just God that tells me where you are."
Wow. I mean, so he was basically following you around to kind of get like your schedule where you were going to be at certain times of day, so that way that somebody else could probably set up the cameras to so they knew that you were out of the house, out of the picture, that they could set up all this stuff while he was following you around.
Exactly. When the FBI, and the way they find it, remember that the attack was on the 18th. On the 15th, I couldn't take it anymore. And I said to myself, even if it is my friend, my producer friend, I'm going to call the police. So I called. I was living at that time in Inglewood. You know, you're familiar with that area.
I know Inglewood all too well.
Yeah. Okay. I was on Century Boulevard. My apartment was on Century Boulevard in Crenshaw, some area over there. And so this guy came to my house and he said, "Mario, I'm waiting for you over here. I'm waiting for you over here, and I know where you are." And I got so scared that I almost dropped dead on the street. I fainted to the end when he says, "Mario, I'm waiting over here for you in your house." He said, "Hurry up, I'm just going to wait for you one more hour." And I know where you are. You are at JR Toy Store. A friend of mine that I used to do accounting, and I did accounting for that gentleman, the owner of the store. And I was talking about that, monthly accounting. And then he says, "You are over there." And then I was so deadly afraid. I told my daughter, because she was with me, "Let's go fast, because I got a surprise for you. I want to give it to you in person." So I was driving so crazy from Manchester in Avalon. You know that area too, right? More or less. Avalon is by Manchester and Broadway, that area over there. in South Central. I drove all the way on Century, all the way to the house that it was closest to Crenshaw. And then I didn't find him. Guess what? When I got to the house, all scared and opened the doors, he told Mario, I'm sorry, you just missed me, because you didn't go back fast. Now I'm at your friend's store. Can you imagine my life, my mind, my thoughts? I was dying.
Wow, I mean, ooh, that's a lot of mind games there, and everything like that. Because I mean, nowadays, I mean, well, even back then, I mean, if people, well, it's usually a lot of the younger crowd that knows how to do this kind of technology, but track where people are and stuff like that. But I mean, he I know you said he followed you around and everything like that, but I'm wondering if he also used like tracking software to well, you mentioned also the tracking on the vehicle as well, so I'm sure he knew something about the tracking. But
oh yeah. When the FBI picked them up, when I reported to the Inglewood Police Department, it was so weird on the 15th of December. And then when I did that, it was strange that the police dropped the case and they didn't answer me anymore. And they connected me to the FBI. And the FBI called me and they say, we are going to give you protection for 720 hours, something like that. And then that's about 2 weeks. And I say, why the FBI? I didn't have a clue until they caught him. That I told him he was from India. And why? They charge him with high espionage, impersonator, a killer, and a hacker, a professional hacker. So he hacked me with the most sophisticated software that is available right now.
Wow, and I know a lot of people when they think India, they think like these little. Well, some people, I'm not saying everybody, but they think like these motorcycles, people on motorcycles going all around town, and a lot of people crowding the train systems and stuff like that. But what they don't realize, of course, with every like call center, you get these East Indian people and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot of technology over there that a lot of people don't think about. So I'm sure that he had some kind of background in that over there if it was coming from India.
Oh, definitely. But the beautiful thing that happened that the hitman became the victim because he was trying to kill me the last time in the hospital, and then he congratulated me when the FBI caught him and said, "Fucking asshole. I was so busy tracking you and following you there, fell into your trap."
Wow. Now, he did attempt to kill you with the dart frog poison, but was there any other attempts that he tried to kill you? And if you could describe what those were.
Yes, sir. 2 more times. The time when he got caught by the FBI, he went to my room, and the intention was to choke me inside the room, and he failed that one. And another one that he did that I'd rather not say for security and legal.
Yeah, no worries.
Legal reasons, I couldn't say that, but he did 3 times.
Okay.
He promised himself. He wrote me the last email when he was handcuffed with the FBI. You remember that thing that the system allows people? He had the right to remain silent in everything that you do and you say will be used in a court of law. Yeah. You know that thing? There's another one. And the other one is you have the right to make a phone call. One phone call when the police catch you. So the police gave him that right. You know what he did? Because he knew that he wasn't going to escape because the FBI didn't give him the chance for representation. He didn't have that. When they caught him, he went straight to jail. No parole, no defense, no nothing, because the FBI had all the evidence. When I turned in the information from my computer, and so they blocked everything, and so that's why they didn't give him the right to defend himself. So he said, when they told him, instead of calling his relatives or a lawyer, he called me and he says, "You motherfucker, you are not gonna live. I'll kill you one way or another."
Yeah, and I sincerely worry about you because like I said, I did extensive research for tonight's show to ask you these questions and everything like that, and just because I worry about the people, because I worry about people doing this stuff to me, but I'm kind of a little more observant, but not to say that you weren't, but I tend to pay attention to odd things, but what I was trying to get at is, and I lost my train of thought, but for a second there, it happens. But I mean, I know I got cousins that are in like the Mexican mafia, and they've been in prison and stuff like that, and I know how just one word in there could get slipped out of the jails and the prisons, and somebody else do that. So that's why I was trying to get at. It was like, I'm worried for your safety. That's why. I mean, if you don't want to provide information, I completely understand.
Yeah, sir, I will. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. But I'm not afraid, and I'm not lying. Yeah. And I said, if God had allowed them to kill me, I wasn't meant to survive. My own mother said that I was going to die when she saw me at a hospital. And she saw me at home. They brought me home. And she said, he's not going to make it. No one knew that I was going to make it. And in fact, they say, in the research, they say that I'm the first one that has survived in history of humankind. I have survived such a powerful dose of poison.
Wow. And you said that you had drank 3 cups of that tea with that poison in it?
Exactly. 2.5 to be exact, because I collapsed when I was still drinking my third one.
Oh, okay. So it just, it took a while to kind of hit you and everything like that. Now, you mentioned about the scales in there. I mean, could you describe what that looked like inside the tea, just in case anybody ever has this happen to them?
Yeah, it was scales and skin, kind of like a fish skin, like more snake or frog. That's why they concluded it was a dark frog poison, because of the skin, as you see, and you have done research, or maybe you already know, but the dark frog, the skin is the poisonous. It's very toxic. And one touch of that skin, you touch someone, you're gone in a second, because it's so powerful. They say it's worse than the snake and everything else.
Yeah,
and they are not offensive. They don't attack you. You just touch the skin, and that's what it was in the thing. You know, it was formed like whole pitch and everything. When I got it, and I had boiled it myself a minute ago. It took me probably 10 to 15 minutes the most to go out to leave my wife doing the laundry and coming back, and I came back with my daughter. And he took that time. And so I saw it with my own eyes. I cleaned it, and I drank it. And I cut the leaves, some fresh tea trees that I had in my house.
Okay.
And I wiped it so thoroughly. And And it was insane. It was.
Yeah. Now, yeah, because I know a little bit about. I've seen dart frogs, and I know their skin is poisonous and stuff like that. But I know a little bit about poison because when I was a teenager, my uncle that lived in West Texas taught me how to catch rattlesnakes by hand. So I learned all about. Luckily, I never got bitten, but I was always the crazy wild child. I don't think anybody ever wanted to mess with me. Now when you went out to do the laundry, and this is where the plot twist kind of thickens here. You do believe? I think I heard in the interview that you believed that your wife at that time was somehow involved in it. Correct?
I believe because I cared that because she was the one that didn't want me to drink the tea. I was gonna drink it, and he said, "Take me to do the laundry." And I said, "Wait until I drink my tea." And then she didn't allow me to do it. And they take me right now. She got really angry, and that's why I believe she was. She got angry, didn't allow me to drink the tea. When I came back, the tea was already messed up.
Okay.
So that's the reason I have it. And then she left me too. 5 months into the poison, and she became really close to my brother. And eventually she left me dying on the street.
Wow.
I was homeless for 2.5 years.
Wow. I want to get into that after the commercial break here. But I want to ask this before we do go to the commercial break. So it was just basically water boiling for the tea before you went to do the laundry? Was a tea leaf in there?
I was a rosemary, fresh rosemary leaves.
Oh, rosemary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had the tea leaf in the water and everything like that, and you were ready to drink it and everything. Just
exactly.
She just pushed you out, trying to get you away from it, so that all this other stuff could go on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to get into a lot of that, and of course, after the commercial break, we'll have the phone lines open, the chat open. If you got a question for my guest Mario Revolori, welcome them. You can sign up for our Spreaker. It's free. You can sign up for our account. You can chat in the chat with me and other listeners. But we'll be right back after the short commercial break with my guest Mario Revolori. We'll be right back.
Ain't scared of nothing, I was born in hell. We got the heat, the sinners, and the devil as well. And this kind of town, it just fans the flame. It don't mean nothing unless the world knows your name. And my friend plays a mean guitar. He writes the riffs and I sing the bars. And we practice in abandoned railroad cars. We sound like trash but think we're superstars. We were just young, dreaming the dream, and trying to make our name up on that local scene. Till late one night when my friend left town, and I started hearing music without the sound.
The weather is getting warmer and people are out and about. Well, if you love ghost hunting, now is the time to pick up some new gear. GhostHunt.com has a wide variety of equipment to choose from, and one of those items is Blue Buddy. He's back. The talking bear every investigator wants on their team. click on the Go Stop banner ad at the top of the show's website and pick up your Boo Buddy today. Go to spring.com and sign up to create your own design or choose from a design from one of the many creators on there. Spring has ways to integrate your store on social media, custom stores, and they have digital and physical products. While you're there, check out the Talk in the Night merch store. To get started with Spring today, click on the banner ad on the Talk in the Night website. Go to the show's website and click on the links for each of my guests and purchase a book or other product that they may be promoting. Without them, there would be no Talk in the Night. Whether you're interested in the paranormal, conspiracy, technology, health, relationships, or any other topic the show covers, my guests have something for you. Check it out today on talkingthenight.com.
What to say to make me fall for you. Say you put me first. Heart's been beating fast, cause I know what I should do. And it isn't be with you. No, it isn't be with you.
To call into the show, Skype Talk in the Night or by phone at 817-717-1280. Now back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, and we are back with my guest, Mario Revolori, as we continue talking about his book, Dead to Me Hollywood. Now, the phone lines are open. If you want to call into the show, ask my guest a question. The numbers to call in using Skype, use the Skype name Talk in the Night, or by phone at 817-717-1280, or you can log on to Spreaker, sign up for a free account. It's free. It don't cost a dime. And when you click on the live show, you can scroll down to the bottom. There's a little chat bar. You can chat with me and other listeners and ask questions that way too. Now, I got a question in the chat before we got to the second hour, but my listener wanted to know, Did your wife ever get caught, or was it just the hitman, or what? Did your wife and brother get caught?
No one, only the hitman. Because when the FBI caught him, they found tons of documentations, evidence written that he couldn't deny it. He couldn't. That's why they didn't give the chance for a defense. So no one. And then many people ask me that question, but I say I will never press charges against anybody. And if I wanted to pursue and to file any how do you call this? My mind is getting the word doesn't come, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That I will never do that for nobody, including that, because I told the hitman, and that last email that I wrote him there, and I said, I love you. Mm. And I congratulate you, but I congratulate my God that he didn't allow. Because in one of his calls, he told me, "You God," because I never knew, because he's an Indian, right? Mm-hmm. I never knew what he meant at that time, but he told me, "You God is not powerful enough to protect you. You're gonna die."
Wow.
That's for sure. He told me that before in one of his conversations with me, and I remember that, and so. And I still him, I love you, bro. Mm. And I say to myself, My dream, if my dream comes true, my dream would be to go to the prison where he is at. Right now, I'm not going to mention, like I said, for security reasons, right? And I would love to go and talk to him and ask him, okay, I love you, bro. You know you did something good to me. Because I take it that way. And I love you, and I forgive you. And the only question that I would ask him, who paid him? Who paid him to kill me?
Yeah.
Because remember, if they wanted to kill me, they could have killed me, and you won't be having me in the show. They wanted to threaten me, and they wanted to torture me alive. And God didn't allow that, because they could shot me dead with 3 bullets, and I'll be gone.
Yeah, especially around Crenshaw and everything like that in Los Angeles, especially in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. But it meant to be for me. God planned it this way, the way I see it. My Lord, my God planned it that way for his own testimony. Because I do this not for money, not for nothing. Something coming from that pays my bills, is welcome, but I don't do that. But I do it to honor my Creator, that I went such an ordeal and no one to touch me. People tell me you fought with Satan himself and you survived. You beat the devil. And so that, and I indeed did it. I indeed did it, but I didn't do it myself. I did it because of my faith.
You know, I know, like me, I'm Wiccan and stuff like that. I have friends that are Christians. I have friends that are different faith. And a lot of times I explain it that even though we believe different, like Christians believe in angels and demons, whereas I believe in light entities and dark entities, I describe them that way. If you look at it, it can be construed as the same thing, just different wording. And it doesn't. It goes from Christianity to Hinduism to Judaism to just about everything. I mean, every religion has a different way of saying it, but it's all the same thing. Because I believe there's a God, there's a higher power up there. Now, do I believe Jesus? No, not necessarily. Maybe I believe there was a man named Jesus, but whether he was the Son of God, I don't really know. I don't really believe that, but that's my own choice in my religion. But, I mean, I look at that higher power, and I know that higher power's got something for each of us.
That's true. Because I'm, like you're saying, I'm very spiritual. I believe in a creator. I believe in my God blindly. But I don't go into any religion. I don't believe in any religion myself.
Yeah,
I have my own religion. My own religion is my God. That protects me day and night. That higher power like you are experiencing me. That's the same thing that I believe.
Yeah.
But I know that good and evil exist. In any way, in any shapes, in any forms, good and evil exist. And good and evil is what I call it. Good, I call it God, and bad, I call it demonic, satanic, devilish, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But because if I do something good to you, I feel happy. But if I curse you, or try to hit you, or try to stab you, and whatever I do, I don't feel good.
Yeah. Like, well, with Wiccans, we believe that if we do something bad to somebody, we're going to get that back to us 3 times as worse. And so we try not to do that kind of stuff. Now, there are people that think, oh, I'm a witch, I'm a Wiccan, and everything like that. I can do this and nothing will happen to me. But they don't understand that force of good and evil, that good's always going to win out, and that bad is going to hit you just as worse than what you were trying to put it on somebody else.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, because I mean, I understand where you're coming from. You don't really follow really a faith, and I think that's the way it should be, in a sense that you shouldn't really follow the faith to the extent like some people do, where they believe that their religion's right and nobody else is right. But because I've had plenty of Christians when I've talked to them about being Wiccan and a witch and everything like that, they're like, "You're going to go to hell." It's like, really? And then I kind of turn it on them and be like, "Does the Bible not mention judge not, lest you be judged yourself, or he without sin cast the first stone?" And they kind of shut up at that moment, because they're like, "Okay, how did he know that stuff?" But
That's awesome.
But it's all about that higher power and trusting in that higher power. Because, I mean, I do my radio show to help people out, to help people understand different situations, whether it be the paranormal, whether it be political, conspiracy, health, technology. But to help people, that's what I was put here on this earth to do, is help people.
Mm-hmm.
So I
agree on
believe. So I believe that's why he said, "Do this radio show, get the word out about it, and help as many people." Like with your show, it'll help people that maybe might be going through the same thing, where they somebody hired a hitman or is planning to hire a hitman against their own family or somebody else. That they'll maybe open their eyes and see this is not the path to take. And of course, you mentioned forgiveness. You can forgive, but you cannot forget about what happened.
Exactly, correct. Yeah, I agree with you again, man.
Now, you mentioned about being 17 days in a coma. Did you, when you were in that coma, were you able to, or let's ask this first. Were you considered clinically dead at the start, or could you hear like anything? Because a lot of people mention about being able to hear things going on around them while they're in a coma, or while they were in a coma, but could not say or do anything.
That was my case. I could hear it. That's how I learned that. My relatives were involved in that because they were talking, and they didn't know that I could hear them. Yeah. And in fact, all the way to like a year and a half after that, my ears developed this weird ability to hear that I could hear you like a black highway. Literally, I'm not lying to you. I had the ability to hear like the train or the planes. I heard them like 10, 20 miles away. It was driving me insane because every single noise around me was killing me, because my ears went so powerful, like you didn't imagine.
Yeah, and of course, when you lose one ability, like people that have lost their sight, their hearing amplifies. If you lose a limb or something like that, other parts of the body pick up. If you lose your voice, your eyesight or your hearing might go up, and it's just a matter. And when you're not able to see anything, you're not able to really talk, then that hearing amplifies. And sorry, I had the hiccups there for a second, but yeah, it amplifies and everything like that. So you were able to hear everything that they were saying while they were in the room with you.
Exactly. But what scares me the most was not being able to speak as you still see right now. Sometimes I go into that people don't understand me, and words don't come out of my brain. I struggle so much, and I cannot I could not come out with no words at times.
Well, I'm glad you're able to speak those words tonight and share them with us.
Yes.
Now, I want to get into kind of a little bit of a paranormal type question with the coma and everything like that, because I've heard people about, like I said, about being able to hear everything going on and stuff like that. But at any time during that coma, did you die in the hospital while in that coma, or?
Yes, I did.
Okay, no.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I died.
Okay.
I died. It's a precious and a real and a true story. It's something amazing that at the same time it's scary. Scary. I died and I told my wife. My wife was with me that night. And I told her that I was going to die. My dad had just, when that happened 5 years ago, my dad had just died like 3 years before. My dad was my hero, is my hero. I still talk to my dad. It's crazy, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
I still talk every night with my dad. And I told him, and I tell him everything, and I told him, because my dad was so close to me that my dad died at 82 years of age. Before he died, I used to sleep with him at that age. At 48 years old, I used to die. To sleep with him on his arms. He talked to me the whole night, because he did that when I was a little boy. We never lost that tradition or that thing to do. Beautiful thing. So my dad was everything to me. And then, like I said, he's still everything. So in that night that I was dying, I told my ex-wife at that time, my person wife at that time, which is not with me anymore. Okay. I told her, honey, I'm going to die. My dad is waiting for me out there somewhere in the universe, in heaven, and he's calling me, and I'm going with him. So I passed away. And then I was looking for my dad. And my God, I felt this happiness looking for my dad. Something I could not describe in words that I saw, I heard, and it was amazing. And at the same time, I heard scary noises, deadly noises, chasing me, chanting for me, happiness for them. And I was dying, and my body was so terrified that I've never felt it in my life. And I said, oh, Lord, God, please help me, because I can try to look for my dad. And then these spirits, monsters, snakes, chasing me, happy, full feeling the air with happiness and smell, like horrible smells.
Wow.
And then I saw this huge hand that descended up from above, an immense hand. It was placed, and the palm of the hand was placed on my forehead and brought me back. Like 5 minutes later, when I came back, then the nurse was with me and yelling at me, Mario, what do you try to commit suicide? But before I died, I heard that he was watching the monitor for me. Remember, I could hear. And he was saying, oh my God. I saw something so beautiful. I saw on the monitor Mario's aura. I've never seen in my life such a beautiful aura. He was showing my aura on the monitor.
Wow.
So he was watching that. But when I died, he saw that my vitals went, everything was disconnected. When I stretched stretched out my legs and arms, all the cables came off. And then he came in the room running to see what's going on. And he was scary, and because the cables, all the wiring, the medical wiring went off. When it got disconnected, that's why he told me when I came back to like, Mario, don't do that again. Don't commit suicide because you try to kill yourself. And I just ignored him because I couldn't say anything. I just heard him. He thought that I had tried to take my own life.
Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your train of thought. I wanted to ask, though, about, because you mentioned about seeing and smelling different things while you were in death and everything like that. Did you have like an out-of-body experience, near-death experience, or something like seeing a light at the end of the tunnel?
I saw things, but not like a tunnel. But you know the funny thing is, from that day on, I saw spirits, bad spirits chasing me all the time. They couldn't leave me without care, because if I was alone, I couldn't take it. I was still in coma, and I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. But I saw these monsters trying to get me, and they came to me, chased me day and night, and they only went away by praying. Someone came in to pray for me. Meditation, like you say, whatever people call it, right? But like you told me before, is that it comes to the same thing. Something higher do you believe, and it's going to help you. Whether you call it God or goodness, or whatever, or the universe, or whatever name it is, you call it, but you went to that one, and I was claiming to God because I call it God, which is, to me is a word that we use to describe the higher power, you know. And then it went away. They went away, but they chased me for 3 years. When they sent me to the streets, paralyzed, blind, mute, and mentally ill. They never let me alone. And I slept in the car. I slept on the streets, and then a client of mine. Remember that a while back I told you that I've been an accountant and a tax preparer. Okay, one of my friends that I did prepare taxes for a long time. He gave me a car. Car to sleep. Wow. So I was sleeping in a car and on the street, and then those guys never went away. They did incredible things to me, and then they used to call me by name and torment me, and I had the ability to. To be there were two voices that called me just as you are calling me Mario. That way I heard them, Mario, Mario, and then I could see when they were those monsters trying to get me, and it was the spirit of goodness. My God, I called me Mario. I felt the peace, and I wasn't afraid. When they came around and said, Mario, and I started running in my mind because I couldn't even move.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't do anything. I was choking 24 hours a day. Wow. In solitude in my car, all by myself. No one for me.
Yeah, and I mean, and these as you described them, demons, were 3 years after you woke up from that coma, they still continued to haunt your dreams, chase you, and everything like that, no matter where you went. Correct?
Correct. Till present day, I see that I'm alone in the room, and I see that they open. No one opens the door for me. At times that they turn off my computer, and they turn it back on. All my equipment. And one time I was writing the new book that I'm telling you that I already wrote, And I'm just revising that it's going to be up on sale for shortly. Well, I was writing that one, and they kept changing my title. I changed it, and they changed me back. But I learned to fight with them, and I'm not afraid of them. And they go away when I take a magic word, my magic word, that I have learned. That I have learned it through my being, my higher power, my God, that I call it again. So they go away. But that time they didn't go away. And strange things happen to me. Like nowadays, like a month ago, I was watching my screen on the phone. And this demon came on my screen. He's still on my screen. I don't know how he came. I took a picture of that one. One time I was doing my prayers at work. I work as a security guard still. Right now I'm working to make me to put food on my table and have a roof over my head. I had to work. And then one time I was meditating. I was so tired, crying by myself that I couldn't move it. I was choking. And I was kind of praying. Believe it or not, when I saw the phone, they were scribing on my phone screen exactly what I was saying, word by word.
Wow. Yeah, because I wanted to, because I've dealt with the darker stuff, not in the sense of playing with the darker stuff and causing that darker energy, but for me, I've been called in to locations before Catholic priests to cleanse a home or a business or whatever it may be of this darker entity, and I believe that higher power, God, however people want to call him, them or whatever, that he gave me this gift to surround myself with the white light to protect me when I go into locations like that. And even when I'm not going into locations, he protects me from that darkness, because the only thing that can beat that darkness is that light. And a lot of times that light is what your kindness that you put out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, now, have the demons completely gone away, or do they still kind of show up every once in a while?
They still show once in a while, but like I said, not as they did in Armenia. And before I was afraid. Remember at the beginning, like for a year, 2 years, I was deadly afraid. But now I'm not afraid. I just go. And I talk to them and I tell them, you go away from me because you're not going to get me.
Yeah.
Because I have my high power, my spirit, and he fights for me. No matter how wrong I do, because I'm a human being, I made mistakes, I tell them. But still he loves me and he controls you because he made you, he made me. He made everything.
Yeah.
And so nothing you can do to me.
So he's not going to let anything happen to you.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we're at the commercial break here, but we'll be right back after the short commercial break with my guest, Mario Revolori, as we continue to talk about his book and what happened to him. We'll be right back.
Feeling like a clam, already on the edge. Just him on the rise. The tide smiles at me and say, oh, life could be so simple, but taking the day away. We can't die for some loving, put your son on replay. I'm watching an old-time movie, follow the clouds go by, and drift in the sky. Things never fit to place. If you stay so uptight, just drop off your She'll pronounce to me.
Do you need music for your radio show, podcast, or YouTube channel but need a music license to play it on your show? Well, go to artlist.io and check out the plans they have. They have 3 plans to choose from: personal, unlimited, and enterprise. All the music that you hear on the show is from Artlist, and there is a banner ad on the show's website. Check it out today. Do you love the strange, unusual, and weird unexplained mysteries? Do you like reading about the paranormal and other happenings? Well, I have the website for you, unexplainedmysteries.com. On there you will find so much, such as the latest news and articles, forums, news with video, and so much more. That's unexplained-mysteries.com, or you can click on the banner ad on the show's website to take you right there. Do you love history? Do you wonder what happened on this day in history? Well, check out history.com/this day in history and find out what happened on this day in recorded history. You can also click on the image on the Talk of the Night website under This Day in History and check out one of the many things that happened. The show's website lists a different event in history every day, so check it out today.
His soul's just like a stone, vulnerable at night. She's always been on her own, doesn't need a man to fight. There goes my lady with her plans. We break all the rules when we can. I'm part-time singer in a band. Ooh, she's washing dishes right now. Soon we'll be in Neverland. Yeah, she shines all.
To call into the show, Skype Talk in the Night, or by phone at 817-717-1280. Now back to Talk in the Night with your host, Paranormal Phil.
Okay, and we are back with my guest, Mario Revolori, as we continue to talk about his book, Dead to Me Hollywood, and all the stuff that happened to him. Now, I have another question by the listeners. Let me find it here. Let me see. Now, this person wants to know, what is your biggest fear with everything that you've gone through?
Wow, my biggest fear. I would say probably not finish my work. That would be my fear, because don't fear anything anymore. That they'll kill me or whatever they do, because I'm in my hands or my higher being. And but my fear is to finish my job. My job. When I mean my job, that means writing my book. Because the book that I'm writing right now, that's gonna be a trilogy. And I'm planning. I already wrote the first one, and it's a novel. It's a fiction, but it's a fiction such a unique plot in that one that I'm proud of that one. And I already did with my first book, Dead to Me Hollywood. And then if I finish that book, I'll be happy, and that would be the fear, to die before I can.
Yeah, before you can finish the work that you want to get finished.
Correct.
Now, I saw that in that interview that the doctors thought you were when you came out of the. Was it after you came out of the coma that the doctors thought you were faking it? Your family thought you were faking it, or?
Yes. My family thought, and they put in my wife's mind that I was faking the whole thing.
Wow.
In fact, they thought that I was full of crap. And I don't understand, because you know when that person is really sick. One time I went to apply for, in a wheelchair, to apply for a friend of mine took me to apply for unemployment, for Social Security benefits. They denied it because all the reports were made that I didn't have anything.
Wow. And I know how that is. That I've been dealing with the VA, the Veterans Administration. I dealt with them for like 6 months. Or actually, no, not 6 months, 6 years. Trying to get an increase on my disability because I knew my health was slowly going downhill and everything like that. And I still fight. I'm still fighting them to this day because they don't want to. I think what they are doing is more motivated by money rather than helping the person. But I mean, to say that you're faking it and then put it in a report to say he's faking it, so don't give him nothing. That's despicable in my book.
It is because I remember the guy was so nice. He's a Mario. Sorry to do this, but according to the rules and regulations of the Social Security Administration, we go by the report. And if the discharge report and all the doctor's report say that you don't have anything, I'm not sick, we cannot give it to you. And we see that you're dying. I was in a wheelchair, and I couldn't even move, I couldn't talk. I couldn't hear. I was there dying, literally dying.
Wow.
He said, you are dying. And that guy was so kind to me. He said, I'm gonna give you a hand, he said. And he gave me one check. I think it was like $1,500. And I was so happy. I thought it was gonna come in every month, but just one check. But he said, I think he paid that. He paid that. The information on the screen, and he showed me a check.
Wow.
Which is what I was dying.
Well,
and then they said, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's always good people out there. I mean, when the People's Convoy, that truckers convoy, rolled past here in Fort Worth, I was out there filming, over the overpass, and there was this one guy that was out there asking for money, like a lot of people do over the overpasses and freeway exits and stuff like that. And I said, after I filmed, something told him to come over to talk to me, and he asked me what I was doing and everything like that. And as soon as I finished packing up, something told me, help this guy out. So I went up to him. I said, are you hungry? And sure enough, he said yes. And we got to talking. I took him over to the short distant walk away from the freeway. There was this pizza place. So I went in there. I bought him a couple slices of pizza and a drink and everything like that. But something told me, help this guy. And there's always going to be those good people out there that are going to help somebody. And we a lot of us don't understand what makes us want to do something like that, but that higher power, and like you mentioned about this guy, said, here, let me give you this and help you out.
Yeah, because I went 2 times. When they denied it, I went and I appealed it. I mean, I applied a second time. They denied it 2 times, and the third time I went to the court. I appealed it. And I went to the judge, and the judge, you know what the judge said?
What's
He
that?
said, the only way that I give you, if you give it to a lawyer. You bring, I didn't have money to buy to hire a lawyer. He said, you bring a lawyer, and then I can give you, but the lawyer is going to take half of it.
Yeah.
She didn't, this judge didn't want to help me, but wanted to get money for the lawyer.
Wow. Now, you mentioned that you were blind and mute. Was that while you were writing the book?
Yes, when I started writing the book, and 10 sons. I was blind and mute. I barely could see, and I couldn't get up at the house, at the bed. And then my daughter used to. I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it, how to tell it, but it's the truth. I found a way to communicate with my daughter, and until this day, I don't know how. Because I wrote songs and she was writing it. I was writing this book and she was writing it. And for some reason, she wrote what it was in my mind. How did she understand? How did she know? I don't know.
That's a mystery only God can answer there. But, I mean, I was going to ask you, how did you end up writing the book that way? But apparently your daughter was the one that helped you write the book?
And the songs that I wrote.
And the song.
And I put it on paper. Because when I was in a coma, one thing that was still alive was my right hand, from my wrist all the way to my fingers. My brain was dead, and I thought in my mind that I could read, that I could write. And I wrote everything to my daughter. He translated for me. And then she told people, because maybe I could hear. So I wrote, and then she read it for me and told people what I wanted. And nowadays I go back to all those notebooks that I have, and there are plenty of them. I don't know what I wrote. It was just lines.
Wow.
But she told them what I told her to tell them in the writing.
And I think I was talking to somebody. I think it was I guess no, wasn't my. I'm trying to remember. I was talking to one of my guests, and it was about telepathy, and or maybe I saw it on something. I can't remember where I saw it or heard it. But anyways, I'm wondering if she, for some reason, God gave her that ability to telepathically read your mind to get those words to write the book.
Yeah, it could be. It could be anything. Could be, because I remember one time I was about to die, and the demons and then the monsters and whatever you want to call it, whatever we call it, were getting me, laughing and knowing that I was going to fall into a trap. And those nails that they bring to my nose and to my throat, it was scary. And one time I saw this angel coming down, an angel coming down from high above the sky, comes down. And a voice tells me, she is going to make sure that you don't have any infections in your eyes. And she's going to wipe all your tears. And she's going to wipe your saliva so you don't choke. And she's going to be using a white towel, cloth towel to wipe it out. And guess what? 3 minutes after that, I thought that I was dying in the hospital room still. You can see my daughter gets up out of the chair where she was sitting down. She went and grabbed cut the pieces of the paper towel and went and did what I was told that an angel was going to do. From that moment on, I called her an angel.
Wow, and I'm sure, I mean, when you have somebody that loves you that much and does that stuff for you, I mean, you automatically have to think, this person's an angel. They came to help when they didn't need to.
Exactly.
Now,
but the funny thing is that I saw her do it before she did it.
Wow. Now, because we're running low on time and everything like that, but you mentioned about forgiving and everything. So you forgive the hitman have you forgiven your family, your ex-wife and your brother for everything that they did?
100%. But remember one thing, I might be wrong, but this is, I gotta tell you that for the listeners to have a clear mind on this is me, and I believe all of us are precious, and we have to make choices on our own. We have, the way I call it, and I tell my daughter, always be a leader and not a follower. Be a producer, not a consumer. Be a winner and not a loser. And I go by those things, doing the right thing, not causing any problems to nobody. But I don't talk to my mom. I don't talk to none of my relatives anymore.
Okay,
I've been away from all my family for 5 years. I forgive them. I love them with all my heart. But if they tried to do those things, and all of them, some way or another, supported them because they didn't help me.
Yeah.
They thought and everybody told me that I was crazy and a hateful person, that I was accusing my own family and relatives.
Yeah.
So I say, I live my life in peace alone for the rest of my life, given to whoever comes to me.
Yeah.
But I love you guys, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't want nothing from my relatives.
So that leads me into the next, the last question before we start wrapping things up. Is so your family thinks that you're still dead and everything like that, or you died or something like that?
They do, but because I have been doing so many interviews in the last 6 months, probably by now they assume that I'm still alive because I've been as you can see in a few shows on YouTube. Yeah. And the hosts have put them up, and so I think by now they know this crazy man is still alive.
Well, I applaud you for your courage to come out and tell your story. I mean, if somebody tried to do that, and I was in like witness protection program, I probably lay low quite a bit, and not that I couldn't handle myself, even because of my military service, but I still would probably lay low. So I commend you for getting out there and telling your story and allowing people to hear it and everything like that. And it's inspiration to somebody else that might experience something similar.
Yes, exactly. I'll be to the end of my lifetime. Because I know how I don't fear. I don't fear my body. My body is going to turn to dust anyway. Anyways, one day.
Yeah, as they say, you can't take it with you when you go. All you leave with is your soul.
Exactly. I will enjoy my spirit of doing the good things. Because the way I see it, the body doesn't feel. The body doesn't do good to people, but that word of inspiration, that word of knowledge, of intelligence, you put out for people, and especially when I went through that, wow, I don't believe in myself. I'm speaking right now. When I went to the hospital, I was a piece of cloth falling all over the place. Okay, they moved me and they stayed the same place. I was just like a piece of paper.
Wow.
My body, it didn't have any nerves. All the nervous system was broken and twisted and shrunk and broken everything. Wow. It was impossible that I was going to be able to walk. Nowadays, I have vertigos. Sometimes I cannot even move because I fall, and then sometimes, like I told you, I want to speak, and my brain doesn't give me the commands. But I'm happy because I have my Lord, my higher being, my God, that is with me. And this I do it for Him because He's the Creator in my mind, and He needs me to talk about His power because I saw things in that bed, during that time, I've seen things that I don't believe in myself.
Yeah.
I've seen visions, revelations. I haven't seen everything.
Yeah, and of course, nobody knows what really goes on the other side when we pass on until we actually get there. And you had the chance to experience that, not in the good way of experiencing it, but you had that chance to experience it. So, I mean, like I said, I thank you for having the courage to come out and tell your story and tell people about what you experienced and everything like that. And it takes somebody with that belief of a higher power, that belief that I don't care how dark it gets, that light is always going to be there. That God is always going to be there to protect me.
Exactly.
So I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Now, before we end with you, tell the listeners where they can find out more about you and your book, and where they can pick up the book.
Yeah, my book is on sale on Amazon. It's doing real good. You can check it out. You can buy it if you can. It will definitely change your life, because the book is like a fiction itself. And when you read it, when the listeners and the readers get the chance to read it, they're not gonna believe. They're gonna think two things: that I'm lying to my teeth, or that I'm lying, because I don't believe in myself.
Yeah.
If I hadn't gone through for that, I would say I'm full of crap too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's impossible to believe what I went through and what I put in that book. That's what I call that book in my mind, the book of God, the book of my higher power. My higher power came to me one day, and this is why I encourage people. Today it came to me. In time, the voice saw me. In time, that book is going to be read or known in the four corners of the world. Maybe that it won't happen, but I had that. I live with that feeling, with that dream. The one day probably I'm going to be gone in 200 years. Someone powerful is going to put the book on the shelves, and everybody's going to read it. I don't know. Probably will happen.
Yeah, we never know what's going to happen, but I mean, I hope it really does well for you and everything like that, and you continue to improve on your health and everything like that, and continue to do the work that you do to get this message out there. And I love to hear more about other things that you got coming up.
Yes, for sure. I will do. I'll be more than happy to do it. And thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you and to the listeners. And to all of you, I love you. I love you as a brother. I love you as a friend. And that's been my thing. To love everybody, no matter what they do to me, I still love them.
Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to defeat that darkness is love. And there's a lot of darkness in this world. But that one thing, love, is going to help bring us all together.
That's true.
All right. Again, thank you for coming on the show and everything like that. I love the story and everything like that. And maybe one of these days I'll be able to pick up the book and read it myself.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, please. It's all that you're going to see something magic in that book. Mm-hmm. It's something special.
All right. But,
and again, it comes from me that I'm not a religious person. I talk about God. I talk about things that I believe, but I don't. I'm not that person that is obsessed with the religion or anything.
All right. Well, thank you again, and you have a good night. And for my listeners, tomorrow night, I want to mention what we got coming up tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is Friday night, and you know what that means. It means Friday night open lines where you can call in, share your stories, experiences, or ask a question of me of any of the topics that the show covers, which is the paranormal, technology, science, health, wellness, relationship, dating, politics, conspiracies, veteran issues. The show covers a lot of topics. The only thing we don't cover is sports and music, so I won't be talking about that. And also, if I don't know a topic, I will let you know I don't know the answer. But I want to hear from you, the listeners, your stories, your experiences, whether it be about the paranormal, now the paranormal, or like conspiracies. I can help out a little more, and veterans issues. But if you got questions, I will do my best to answer it. As always, make sure that you follow the show on all the Talk of the Night social media sites, such as Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course YouTube. And of course, the show is also heard not only here on Spreaker.com, but it's also heard on Amazon Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Facebook Podcasts, and like I said, YouTube. And of course, I do have at the top of the Talk of the Night website, there is a LinkedIn thing, but that's not so much for the show. That's more of a business networking thing. But also, if you ever want to be a guest like Mario and all the other guests that I've had on the show, make sure that you send me a message to talkofthenight@outlook.com. So until tomorrow night, real quick before I mention that, next week's guest will be up on the show's website tomorrow, all the lists and everything like that. And of course, you can find the link to Mario's book up on the Talk of the Night website. Just click on Radio Show tab and then go to Guest of the Show, and you can find a link to where you can purchase his book. So until tomorrow night, when I have Friday night open lines where you can call in, share your stories, experiences, and questions, I shall see you on the dark side. Good night from Talking the Night.
Late at night, darkness has fallen. Turn on the radio, and you hear him talking. Listening to what he has to say, all about the paranormal and all of the things. When he sounds off, you can hear him say, see you on the dark side. Yes, you can